So this is just going to be a really quick video. Kind of a thought that occurred to me, and it's not going to be worked out for a long time, but it's a sort of incipient um, antiviral that I thought some of you might benefit from. Maybe it'll like sprout in your mind and you'll come up with penicillin. It's the fact that Marxism really looks like an autoimmune disease to me. Now, I say Marxism, and Marxism is either A, an economic system, or B, a political Machiavellian something to take over government. But which is why I don't like the term Marxism, because it points to something specific, a historical event and group and ideology. In my last video, when I talked about how the greenwash are a bunch of Marxists, well, like yes and no. They're not exactly Marxists, but the thing that sickens us men of the West, that like the sickness is the same sickness, just a slightly mutated form. And so I was thinking about that really got me noticing that Marxism, and we'll just call it Marxism, whatever this mimetic poison is that got introduced to our species somehow, it's like an autoimmune disease. In the autoimmune disease, your own white blood cells start mistaking your cells for the enemy and attacking them, while inviting the enemy invader in. And isn't this every goddamn problem with our society nowadays? That we take something like the atomic family, mother and father and the children, sitting down to have dinner. Patriactionary, I'll link to his blog below. He recently linked to a video of Mystery Science Theater 3000 making fun of this 1950s propaganda movie about the nuclear family, and how, and there's a few good jokes. It is a ridiculous video. I mean, why do we need the government to tell us how to sit down and have dinner? But to watch that video and to think about our modern times in comparison, most of the jokes fall pretty flat. That, okay, yeah, the video's cheesy, but man, I wish I'd grown up in a household like that. But a lot of you do as well. But anyway, that's the thing, is that we take this beautiful thing, the nuclear family, and when I was young, they liked to proclaim that the nuclear family was an invention of the 1950s. Yeah, that's why every society has had marriage. Like we take these beautiful things and we denigrate them. Movie Bob over at The Escapist. Go watch 5 of his movie reviews. And that guy just loves to hate himself. He just loves to hate everything he represents. Or would want to represent, I should say. He's a fat nerd that can't get laid. And so he loves to hate real men. He described, what's that movie, Taken? I've never seen it. It might be a crap movie, but he said, it's a fantasy for divorced men to be a hero again. Well, yeah, and I'm pretty sure everybody in my audience knows about how messed up the divorce courts are. What the hell's wrong with a man dreaming of being a patriarch, of taking care of his family and rescuing his daughter? You're making fun of this? Movie Bob? You find something contemptible that men want to be heroes and rescue people and fight bad guys that would hurt society? Meanwhile, we celebrate the ugly. The whole torture porn genre to varying degrees. And, maybe I'm just being an old moral fag here. But yeah, we celebrate the ugly and the deviant, and we denigrate the healthy and beautiful. Look at that artwork, Piss Christ. Environmentalism, the same sort of thing. Rather than, like, true environmentalism is how do we take care of our environment so that we can live in it and be happy. And part of happiness is having birds flying around and trees and parks and we like that stuff. We like having trees. That's why we want trees, right? Because they're cool. We can do without the leeches and mosquitoes. But the environmentalists, it's not about creating a good habitat for humanity. It's about punishing humanity. It's about blaming, like humanity is the most amazing species on the planet. Am I right, folks? Like, do we need to argue this here? And these are the ones that despise humanity. They prefer the environment to humanity. The Marxists, they like the traditional Marxists, they celebrate the serf, the moron, the ignorant, the basest of society. The same urge goes with democracy, that every man needs to have a voice. Why? Most of them are idiots. I don't want them to have a voice. It's bad enough that they choose pop culture. I certainly don't want them choosing government. Anyway, to get back to the point. It's an autoimmune disease that hates anything good and noble and progressive in the world. Like, truly progressive, not liberal progressives. Science has been stagnating for 50 years. You didn't see this during the collapse of the Roman Empire. There's generational cycles, there's times of peace, there's times of war, there's ups and downs. But I really suspect Marxism might be our first autoimmune meme. Which makes it all the more vital that we fight it. So, that's just a early form retroviral. Maybe it'll bond with something in one of your minds and we'll have the penicillin for this terrible, terrible thing in the near future. Take care of yourselves. Irini out.